For working with 2-point perspective, the tools that are going to be useful and really necessary for you to have, of course, are paper, some sort of a straight edge. If you're working on a smaller piece of paper, just a regular 12-inch ruler will be fine. But if you're working on a larger sheet of paper, sometimes it's nice to have a longer straight edge. A pencil, some sort of pen or ink. Sometimes it's helpful to have color, just as you're learning, it helps you to see what you're doing. And then an eraser. All right, so to set up your piece, the first things that you need to do are set up your horizon line. So the horizon line is that place, that imaginary place where the ground ends and the sky begins. Now, of course, that's not a real thing. Instead, it's just an illusion because of the way the earth curves. We can't see past that place anymore. I want that line to go perfectly horizontal across my paper. I want it to be parallel with the top and the bottom and perpendicular to my two sides. So I can use my ruler to just line up along the side of my paper to get that horizon line. If you want to, you can also measure, down from the side a certain amount on both sides of your paper and connect the dots. But I think generally speaking, if you just match up your ruler with the edge of your paper and draw straight across, that will do what you need it to do. Okay. All right. The things that you need to consider are your vantage point. So the horizon line, technically speaking, is even with your eye line. So if there's something that is existing fully above that horizon line and you think that this is even with your eye and you've got something up here above, you need to think about what faces you're going to see of this thing. So if you are down here and you're looking up at something, you're going to be seeing the bottom face of any cube that you draw above your horizon line. Likewise, down below your horizon line, any cube that you draw down here, you would be seeing the top face of it. When you are working with 2-point perspective, just like in the title, you've got 2 points. For practice purpose, we're going to set those 2 points up at the very left and very right side of your paper. I'm going to go over those with pink just to make them a little bit more obvious. Okay, so I've just set them up there using 2 little X's. All of my vanishing lines, or lines that are going away from the cubes that I create, are going to connect with both of these vanishing points. So if you think of a box, I'm going to flip this over for a second. If you think of a box, just like a cardboard box or something, we of course know that it has the side that faces us. We know that there is a side, back here that's facing away from us, and it has a top, a right side, a left side that you can't really see because of the way that I drew this box, but it has a right side, it has a left side, a right side, and a bottom. Like it's got all those different faces. Now, the way that we are drawing, because we're using 2-point perspective, we won't ever be seeing the face of something facing us straight on like this. Everything that we are going to be drawing is going to be going away from us on both sides. So this is going back, this is going back. We are seeing everything from a corner. That's really important. The other thing that's important for you guys to pay attention to is that anytime you draw a vertical line, it needs to remain vertical. We're not working immense. We're not working huge. So those lines, the way you're going to draw them, they're always going to be vertical. The best trick I can give you is to always line up the edge of your ruler with the edge of your paper so that you know that you're getting those lines perfectly vertical. Okay, if you start to try to eyeball perspective, I can guarantee you're going to get it wrong. So use the trick of your ruler, line up with the edge of your paper so that all vertical lines always remain parallel to each other, parallel with the edge of your paper, and perfectly vertical. Any of the lines that on this type of a box would be horizontal, okay, they will be what your diagonal lines are. Okay, so any line that used to be horizontal, if it was facing you straight on, will now be diagonal. And we've got it set up with our horizon line, our 2 vanishing points, and now we're ready to start working some perspective onto this paper.